Random Builds and Rebuilds. That's the first name I see coming in here. This is tricky. I think you do kind of have to saw that. I don't want to slip. Now in the bush, you just like, it's pretty green. This is a green bone anyways. It's only been minimally processed. Probably still some marrow inside of it. We're going to try to set it up. Get this knife down in there and split it, right? You want to split it right down that middle section. Right down the grain. The grain runs upward. I'm not even going to do that side. I'm going to go this side only. I would hate to ruin one of these bones doing this, but this was the way it was taught. Just like that. Welcome, everybody. This here is a cannon bone. We're going to split this into two pieces so that we have where you can make an awl with it. I'm going to use files and sandpaper to pretty much do that. But welcome, everybody. Random Builds and Rebuilds, and everybody here. Appreciate you being here. That worked. Oh, that didn't. I thought it was supposed to split evenly down the grain. Well, this can still be used for a needle, so we'll still use that. This is my first time splitting cannon bone, so pardon me for that. Try it again from up here. Oops. That didn't split evenly either. All right, well, we'll save those pieces of bone. Ooh, look, there's marrow in there. I'm going to tell y'all something about that marrow right there. First of all, the fats in there are crazy. Like last night, I realized they emulsify, and you could use them for the tanning process, I think. But I'm gonna try to knock some of this material off. This is probably enough for an awl, like what you would see in the dark ages. That would probably be enough bone. But I'd rather have something with a long handle. I got fat hands. So that didn't work as well as I was hoping. But we'll make stuff with those bone pieces too. I'm going to like attempt to chisel away this piece here. I'm going to turn my pelt here a little bit. These you can't clamp that well anyway. Now the way I seen a guy do it, the way I seen him do it was with sandpaper. Like he did the whole, this must sand really easily, but we'll try with a file and stuff like that. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. We've been doing animal processing and stuff. Also woodwork. Let me show you the dovetail box we made. We mixed it up in here. We did finish the single dovetail box for our giveaway. So that we're happy about. But also trying to process these cannon bones into some awls. A little bit embarrassed that I didn't crack that right. I don't want to waste a bone here. But I think maybe I'll get a little clamp. Try to clamp it gently so I don't snap the bone. I'll do a little zoom. What if that'll work? I do not know Turkish, but thank you for if you can. I don't know how to. Yatogan Pala. Thank you for coming though. I got great respect for. No, not rhino horn. Nope, nope, nope. We don't do that. This is the this is the cannon bone from a deer, a white-tailed deer. Let me see if I can file that down. I want to show y'all something about tanning too that I learned in the last couple days. If I could also do that. Need a little elbow room here. I do not know Turkish though. I just want to know how much bone is worked by that file, because in the video I watched, this guy, man, he sanded the whole thing. I'm like, how do you sand an entire blade like that? Okay, so I see that the filing works. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit differently here. I'm trying to think of the way. I've never worked bone before. This is my first experience working bone. Now, they would use these as like meat scrapers sometimes, they being Native American people. I know, though, in the Anglo-Saxon culture, like you have needles and awls that are about, this is really sharp, by the way, and blades that are about like that big. I'm just trying to think of a smart way to do this. Maybe I should clamp it in the vise. It's just unwieldy. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. I have to find a way to crack it off of there. Let me try this way. I don't want to shatter the bone either. It's green still, so it has some elasticity to it. One of the things the guy said on the video is, yeah, bone is a lot harder than wood. Well, I figured, but kind of makes sense that it messed my tools up. All right, let's move this pelt for a second, guys. Even though that's getting all my views. We'll do all that again, set all that cool stuff up again, because I do need to rub that pelt over that lump. But what we want to do now is I want to take this bone, put it in this vise. I want to take this section off here so I have this hollowed out section. I can file or work that down. I also could use a bandsaw for this, most likely. Nah, don't tell me I left my... Almost thought that pin was staying in there. I did look up that you can attach bone to wood or natural fibers using two-part epoxy, but that a mechanical joining is the best way to do it. So some pins. I was curious on whether I could put a wood handle on bone for this awl piece that I want to do. I wonder if I can clamp it this way or should I clamp it this way? This seems to be the best way. See? Maybe those sleeves will help hold it. Oh, I broke something, dude. Scary. Never worked with bone like this before. See if there's a better way. All right, now I recommend eye protection. So apparently in the Dark Ages, there were guys that were experts at bone carving and bone craftsmanship, which is really cool to know. I'm sure it goes back before that. Hi, Michael Osborne, welcome. It's warm here today. Random builds and rebuilds said, how is the weather near us? It's very warm today. All right, so that took off most of that bone material I wanted to get off. I still have to process that deer head too, and it's looming because it's going to be funky. I want to get these edges off. I could probably, no, I'm not going to put my bandsaw on. We'll use hand tools, but we don't want to break it either. Hey, Woodshed by Dan, welcome. This is a cannon bone, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very strong bone from the leg of a hooved animal. In this particular case, it came from like a 2-year-old buck. I also harvested the marrow last night, boiled down bone marrow, and the neat's foot oil. Harvested that as well. So this is actually a job for the belt sander if I can get that thing running again. Maybe a reason he sanded the whole thing. Woodshed by Dano, it's been a minute. I'm glad to see you here. They definitely want you to do this while it's the bone is green. Like this should be done while the bone is green. I may actually use this piece because I've seen alls that small. But if I can get these two sides off, I'm trying to think of a tool I could use right now and process this like neatly. I don't want to kill my saw with this, but I definitely could use my saw. I could cross cut over this and try to take those off, but this isn't wood I'm working right now, and I got to remember it's a different material. I don't want to do it wrong, but some of that's a learning process. Handing out 100s, Gage's handing out 100s. Put me on the list. That's more effective. That is working. Bye, Gagey. I'll zoom in a little bit so y'all can see what's going on. I feel a little more comfortable with this bone now. Gage is one of your grandson's name? Oh, but not him. A different Gage, right? This right here is an ankle bone, man. It's a cannon bone from a deer. I want to make it like somewhat diamond shaped on the tip. So when I sharpen the edge, I want to make it a diamondish shape. Now all the bone dust that you sand off of this thing could be saved for compost. If you're a composter, don't throw bone dust away. It's very high in phosphorus. This stuff right here, very high in phosphorus, and it's broken down. Like this type is broken down in soil very quickly. I'm going to save it for my plants. I know how valuable that stuff is. My name is Calvin. Today in Dad's Workshop, we're working cannon bone, which is the leg bone from a deer. We're working this to make an awl to actually process leather with. I want to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all a bunch of stuff today before I finish. Maybe shorter, maybe longer, but I have some things I want to show y'all, like part of this process. I'm saving this bone dust as fertilizer because it has very high phosphorus in it. I use everything I can, guys, you know. I'm almost past that lip, the concave part. This may be that side, though. I didn't even think about that. This is actually the flat side right here. So I kind of ruined the flat side of it. Different shaped of awls, AWL awls that you can use. I mean, rawhide's easy to make. I can make rawhide pretty simply. It's just the same process as drying leather. All you're taking collagen and drying it with salt, and you dry it all the way, like what you have here on the back of this deer hide. Once it dries all the way out, this dries all the way out, you have rawhide, right? It's just skin. It has no tannins or anything to preserve it. And then rawhide's what you would use for hide glue, right? So, because it can be cut into chunks, boiled down, and that's how you get hide glue. I think it's a waste of hide to make glue. I would use other parts for it. I got some tendons over there. Tendons, excuse me. Tendons that I would use for that. But Michael, are you actually working on a current project right now? I'm really happy to hear that. I'm glad you know you're good enough to work on projects. Whoops, I missed with that. Ah, okay. Making a bow. I see. Hey, do click that double tap that screen, like this video, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We love to have you on a daily here. This is traditional crafty, bush crafty type stuff. I'm going to make a blade with the end of this, but I mean, it's going to have a sharp tip. But I picked the curved side on accident here, and so now I'm stuck with whatever shape I can get from this curved side. I have one more cannon bone here, so hopefully I don't mess this one up like I messed this one. I should have just taken it and put it in the vise to start out with, or cut it with the bandsaw, to be honest. Guy made it look easy in the video I watched. I'm carefully collecting, as carefully as possible, all of this bone dust to use in plants because it is very high in phosphorus, and this type of bone dust is really fine. It will be absorbed by plants very quickly. Oh, that's good. Michael says he's got several projects that he's working on. Getting there, dude. That don't dull your knife, man. Oh, that broke. I'm concerned about that chip. This must take some really tough, sharp tools to carve, you know, because people carve this stuff, man. My fingers are tanned. It's crazy. I've learned how to make a better tanning solution. So it looks like it actually tans your fingers if you make a real good tanning bath. I should make a wood handle for this. Dang, it's hard to. I got an idea. Let's put it in like this. See if it holds. So I need to get after these sides too. Basically, it's like a needle point you're trying to create. These can be used as inlaying crafts too, but you got to get that flat side and turn it into bone stock. And the old way to do it would be buried in the ground, right? Restart Kasperwitz. Welcome. This end's gonna have to come off because of that chip. Very brittle right there. See that other piece come out? And that stuff is so sharp, you got to watch out. I'm concerned that the part I really wanted is kind of gone. I might try to break this out right here and end up with this top section as the awl. Or maybe that will work. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured that was happening. Hey, everybody, welcome. Glad that you're here. Yeah, thank you for that, Heather. Appreciate that. Love to see that. Now let's get this bone to hold in here, guys. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to try to take this side here. Seems to be the more advantageous side to take. So we'll just kind of, this is really tricky. Working with bone, different material, man. Let me do this here. See if I can. I think that'll work if I can sand that down, get this to a point, and then I'll figure out some sort of handle for this. This will work for what I need it for. Definitely feel like I'm working more with like stone, you know? It's a stone-like medium. We don't want to lose anymore, so maybe sandpaper next. Probably just takes practice working with wood to get this down, you know? Or not wood, with bone. Just like it did working with wood, you know? Chase is in the house. New Beginnings is in here. This is a cannon bone, Chase. Trying to get it to create me an awl that I can use for leather work. I'm going to show you guys my pelts in a second, but this is from the ankle of a buck. And once I get it sharp, I probably got to let it cure because the bone seems softer right now, more prone to like breaking. What I like to do is make a wooden handle for it. I want it to be nice before I do that. I could see how you could make like a spoke shave type thing with this shape of a bone too. We're going to bring this thing to a tip. Excellent question. Woodshed by Dan with the awesome questions. He says, is there anything special you have to do to preserve the bone and tendons? So what I did with these, I cut these off. I removed the tendons and the sleeves from these sides, and then I poured hot water over it to loosen up the bone marrow from the inside. I gave the bone, I didn't boil it. I let the oils rise to the top. Then I skimmed those oils off the top and I saved them because they emulsify. They're very fine oil and you want to use it in the tanning process, if that makes sense. So you want to, now you see that bone is really clean. It's actually the bone from the animal that you just saw. This was just from pouring hot water off and then peeling away the sinews off of it and getting the marrow out. So good question. Yeah, boil hot water over it and then keep the oil that comes to the top. There's going to be oil that rises to the top and marrow. Poke the marrow out. Either eat it because it's good for you or give it to your animal if you have animals. They love it. They freaking love it. Animals, cats, dogs. Bone marrow is really good. It's fatty. And then skim that oil off the top. Keep that. It's called neat's foot oil. You use it for the tanning process. You mix it with brain. I actually put mine right in with my brain that I have in the freezer. Yeah, I don't play around with this stuff, man. I'm not scared of this stuff. So yeah, take the bone, pour hot water over it. Remove the upper parts of it. Cut it down to what you want it to with the saw. Remember, it's probably going to dull your saw a little bit. And collect that oil that gathers at the top. And don't throw away the marrow. Use it for something. Either eat it yourself or give it to your animals or something. But save that oil on the top. It's a very fine, clear oil called neat's foot oil. And it's used in the tanning process. Cannibal, is that what you call me? Thank you. Don't encourage the trolls, BK. That's actually getting close to what I wanted to do. My very first time, it's all right. I'll give myself a little grace on this one. All right, let's get some sandpaper. 120 is probably perfect for this, actually. I don't want too harsh. You know what? Let me try some 80. We'll try 80. Then I got some stuff I want to show you guys. I don't want to make the back of this all so fragile. So I'm going to try to concentrate my sharpening to the tip here. If you are trying to, if you're working leather and you want to have control over which stitch direction that you have, you want to create, and I didn't do it on this, you want to create a diamond shaped tip. That's going to give you different directions you can come with the thread or sinew that you're using. So I didn't get that done on here. I'm just going to cut this to a sharp tip or sand it, work it to a sharp tip. Hope I answered your question, Woodshed by Dan. Hope that answers your question. BK, you should be ashamed of yourself for calling me that. I have never eaten human meat, so far as you know. It's already starting to get sharp. I almost cut myself right there. If we can get a diamond shape out of it right now, that would be awesome. If you see the ones made in the Dark Ages, like in England, the different parts of England, like Leicester and London and South England, they are decorative. Like the whole awl will have all these different little inscriptions and carvings on it. They're pretty impressive. We'll try to make it diamond shaped here. Meme hierarchy said question mark. It is not. Oh no, it's not a turkey call either, which is a good idea because I actually know how to use a turkey call. I know how to use a mouth call. Rattle calls, all you do is turn your hand. I practice my turkey calling pretty seriously. But good question. I love that. That just brought up an idea, making a turkey call. I could probably use sinew or something like that from a deer to make a turkey call. All it needs to have is basically some sort of a thin, like rubbery diaphragm, right? And then a rigid outside. It needs to be shaped like a horseshoe. Now, turkeys call, and male turkeys respond to the call because it sounds like a hen. Hens respond to the call because it sounds like a male. So both male and female turkeys will respond to a proper call. I'm getting a diamond shape out of it actually somewhat here, like triangular. I think I'm getting an idea of how the bone works. Hey, Wes does it. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And I want to thank you all for those likes today. I'm able to get a triangle shape out of it from this angle. Hey, DT, what's up, man? In a second, I'm going to put this aside, which is an awl that I'm making out of a deer bone. This is a cannon bone. I kept one intact, so you can see this is an intact cannon bone right here. It was taken from the same deer that pelt was right there. I tried to split it down the grain today and ended up failing that a little bit. Right now, I want to get a sharp tip so this can pierce leather, right? So I can punch holes in leather with this tool that's made from the animal. I've seen people make spear tips with this stuff. Really cool too. That got backward little scores in them so that when you throw the spear in, it bites in there. Yeah, it's a similar, I bet it's a similar material to ivory, right? Bone. They wouldn't have had access to ivory though. BK in old England, like Anglo-Saxon England, right? The 800s, 900s, they wouldn't have had ivory there. So it would have had to been bone. They determined it too, I think. It's mostly cattle bone, ankles and stuff like that. And the regular people wouldn't have been allowed to hunt either. So it would have been domesticated animal bones. That's actually not looking bad at all. It's getting to the point, and so am I. I didn't just break the tip off, did I? I felt like I broke something off. Guess you got to be careful doing this. Bone is still green. All I did was pour warm water on it yesterday, so the bone's still green. Where the wind blows, showing her membership. Oh, did I get a gift from Mike? Thank you, Mike, for the trophy, the goat trophy. Appreciate that, man. Do a drum roll for the goat trophy. Thank you, Mike, for the goat trophy. Mike is making stuff with the gift. I'm going to probably leave this bone as is for now. I'm going to show y'all real close, up close. I've got the tip fairly sharp. It's almost sharp enough to poke through leather. I think I have to poof, like that. And we will, I want to put a wooden handle on it, but I don't want to be corny, you know. If that's not done, we won't do it. But I'm really considering it. I have strongly considered it. Let's put the bones aside for a minute. This one's got marrow in it. See the marrow still in there? That's because it's fairly fresh. This one I can turn into a needle, so I'm not going to throw that away. I'm not trying to get rid of anything. And then this is an intact cannon bone right there. Only thing is that I got the marrow out to feed the dogs yesterday. All right, so the next thing I want to do, I'll back the camera up. Thank you so much for demonstrating your membership, BK. Appreciate you. Appreciate all my members who are in here right now. We're going to put this pelt back on the fleshing beam. Oh, is I out of view with my hands? Should I be, like, can y'all see that? Poof. Keep these bone fragments as evidence. I don't know what I just did with that other bone, though. I didn't drop it, did I? All right, let's put this hide back up, take a look at it, inspect it, do whatever needs to be done to it. This bone dust that's on my bench is probably useless because it's mixed with salt, and salt is toxic to plants. Otherwise, if you're working a piece of this bone, the dust I collected, I put into this cup, is going to go into my plants because bone dust has a tremendous amount of phosphorus in it. It's very good for soil. The stuff you buy, like bone meal at the store, is processed from slaughterhouses. They take it from the pig bones usually. Not a particularly renewable, great and environmentally sound thing, but it does like remove waste because it's not going into landfills. So it's better that than nothing. And bone dust is one thing I always liked with plants. I was a big fan of the bone meal. I'm going to back the camera up so you can see that hide. There we go. All right. So this hide, I did a really, I will say myself, I did a good job salting it. The only thing I would do over again is I would stretch it over a hoop or a frame so that I don't have any wrinkles in it. Wrinkles could be a problem in the tanning process. I'm going to show y'all my tan piece too. I've been doing really good with the tannins. We weren't just cracking pecan shells here for no reason. The other day they actually went into a ground up tannin bath that I made. Notice it's still supple though. I like that about it. And I think I'm going to be able to preserve the pelt on here, which I'm so happy about. I don't want to speak too soon, but That's cool. Where the Wind Blows, or BK, said, I have a wooden handle one and still have sinew. How you soften it, BK, is use what I was just talking about a little bit ago. Neat's foot oil, egg yolks. Mike can talk about this too. Egg yolks, right? Neat's foot oil, which is what I collected from these bones as I poured hot water on them, and then brain material, and that's how you soften it traditionally. You can also use egg yolk and olive oil. You need to have that lecithin in there. That lecithin, that's the key part. It emulsifies the oil and water, right? And you need to spread that oil over, work the oil into the hide, and it'll soften it back up. The other thing you can do is carefully hydrate it in a brine bath. Make a brine bath out of salty water and put it in that brine bath and let it hydrate. Take it out, squeeze it out, then add the oil into it. When it starts to press down, I wish I had, I do have something I can show you that's similar to it. So this hide right here is still drying. This is the same animal that those ankle bones came from. I appreciate the gifts, y'all. I saw one by Dan there a second ago. Appreciate those gifts. We live off that. So, and that in the memberships and super chats, that's what we live off of. This is the muskrat hide, also coming around really well. And I kept this one, and it's almost, the head was removed, but I kept this one in good condition too. Still, I also think I'm going to be able to keep my fur on this one as well. Let me work this one on the horse real quick. Neat's foot oil, olive oil, egg yolks, and the animal's brains, or brains from an animal. Brain has lecithin in it. That's going to emulsify, and mix that with warm water, BK, and then that warm oily solution, you're going to press that all over the bottom side of the hide. That'll moisturize it. That's how these are going to get moisturized after they're tanned. Let me show y'all the tan leather that I'm working on right now. No, I'm not kidding at all. I'm totally serious. The brains are that's like one of the number one ways to do it. I'm going to do that. I have saved them. So I added some concentrated tannins to this as well here. We'll put this over the horse, but I don't want as much salt getting on it. Can y'all see? Y'all see that color? I think I maybe should zoom in on this. It's like almost weirdly ASMR. All right, so not toxic at all here. And I took my ring off because I think my ring is putting marks on it. This is that combo I told you of mimosa. I'm using mimosa pods, pecan shells, and pecan hulls. I used a little oak back in the day. I'm not using much oak anymore because I don't have a ready supply of it. Pecan hulls, mimosa pods, right? You can use any kind of hickory nut, walnut, hull, walnuts, crush them up. I'm going to use bitter nut hickory when I run out of pecans. It's going to do the same thing. I don't even need to test it. I know it's going to do the same thing. My wildlife and plant instinct tells me. I don't think I'll really be dealing with anything different. And I don't have to eat the insides of them. I feel bad with pecans, so I end up eating them and saving the hulls. But it gives it a little darker color to have the pecan and the pecan hulls in there. And y'all know I had some spots in it I was trying to work with, so I added some darker material. And when you squeeze it and work it like this, it's going to actually absorb more tannins, right? Oh, y'all can't see. That sucks. Let me move the camera back outward. So dumb. I zoomed into the wrong place. That's what always happens. Yeah. All right. So I ended up squeezing this out multiple times. I'll show you both sides of it. We'll start with the darker side, which is the flesh side. All right. This is the flesh side, and I actually may work this a little since I got it in here. I haven't worked it in a few days. Royce Timber Art, David Custer. Welcome, everybody. All right, where's my scraping? I've got a piece of wood that's specifically meant for this. I really prefer not to get these tannins on my clothes because once they come off, once they go on, they never come off. It's not ever going to happen. I don't want to use my draw knife because of the iron in it. I might end up with, you know what I can do? Huh. I could use this scraping tool that I just made with this bone. How about that? Let's use the bone. Don't want to poke it, but the other day we checked to see how far the tanning process had gone along, and what we found was that a third of the leather still hadn't been tanned on the inside. This hide was scraped more aggressively than that one. I pulled the membrane off of this one and everything, so this was definitely a more aggressive scraping than the other one, for sure. But I still find little pieces of flesh that I think shouldn't be on there. And obviously, because of the hair issue, it has to be. I have to filter the tannin out multiple times. I'm adding tannins to this multiple times a day. I'm like, it's very high maintenance. Don't be fooled at all. It is not easy. I can see why they did not use tanning baths like bark tanning. Like unless you have a tremendous amount of time, it's probably a very difficult process. Takes a very long time. Can take up to a year or more for a hide to get tanned this way. I don't think mine's going to take that long. I'm doing all kinds of teasing and squeezing of it. I do it just to work the hide so it stays soft. Right now it has like a chamois-like consistency. Very, very soft. No smell at all. Roy's Timber Art says he's going live in an hour. That's fantastic. Thank you all for the 111 likes today. That's awesome. That's awesome, awesome. Appreciate that. Thanks to all my members for being here. Usually you got to be in on these lives or be a member to watch it after the fact because these do not stay public. Once I finish these, they become private, members only streams. Become a member today. Click that little $sign in the bottom corner. It's $5.99 a month, and you become part of the fam. And you be in here. And when you have members only chat, which is multiple times a week, then you'll be in on it. All right, now let's take this thing and look at the grain side, which is the pretty side, right? That, I'm pretty proud of that, not gonna lie. I don't work the grain side too much, especially since I was like really aggressive with the flesh side. Sometimes I squeegee it out. Dark spots are disappearing as the tannins become more become stronger. You know, work through the pelt more. You want to squeeze it all out if you're changing your tannin bath, or as you're trying to add more tannin, you have to remove the fluid from the pelt, right? So that it can absorb more. I think it takes longer if you're not tinkering with it all the time, because it's sitting in the tannin bath, it's absorbing the tannins are getting exhausted, and you're at work, you're at school, you're with your kids, and so you can't go squeeze it out, put it back in, put new tannin in there, let it absorb that. I've been at home a lot of the time, so I've been able to do that. So you can see it's able to tan quicker that way, right? Way back in the video. It almost looks like, okay, no, that's right. That's on my phone screen. So that is the hide that I've been working on there. And then I'll show you my little hides that are getting ready to go into a vinegar bath pretty soon. After the vinegar brine, they go in, then they go into a tannin bath too. Where the Wind Blows says, I enjoy listening to intelligent people. My sister was like this too. Well, if your sister's passed, then we say rest in peace to your sister. And, you know, we do appreciate you being here. I don't try to be a know-it-all here. I'm learning this. This is all new for me, right? But I have learned from some people that have said that you can do an excellent job tanning your very first time if you just take care. It's some of it's luck, some of it's skill, you know, and some of it is just paying close attention, right? Attention to detail. I'm going to take this pellet and wrap it up here, and I'm going to show you all the other ones, and then I'll get out of your hair, or, you know, I'll tan your hide or whatever. Maybe I'll hide just like I did yesterday. Now that that's all squeezed out, I want y'all to be able to see the tannin bath here. You'll notice it has a clouding in the bottom. That's where most of the tannins are sitting. So you put this thing in here and you agitate it, get all that dark stuff from the bottom. I do have two leg pelts in here of, I would say, marginal quality. I'll probably put those in a lime bath and remove the hair on the other one at least. This one's bad too. I don't even want to show those off. They're pretty bad. That had to do with me not brining it long enough. So I'm still dealing with the consequences from that. Oh, you said in past tense, so I thought you passed or something, and I didn't want to say something disrespectful. Like, oh, you should have your sister on or something, you know, that didn't make sense. So here's two. I've showed these before, but I'm super proud of these two hawks that I did. They're ready to almost go into this solution, but I think they need to go into a vinegar brine to make sure that that fur is set in there. We'll do that first. And then a couple new hides. Obviously, you guys know the muskrat hide. And then I had, this is a squirrel hide right here that I'm working on. Another leg hawk, and I've got a couple more over there. A couple more leg hawks. And these two are also deer hawk material. Very thin, soft type of leather. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, all I got for you on this Saturday. Oh, and we will be giving away, I got to finish this box. I'll probably do that on Monday. We'll put a bottom on this dovetail box that we finished yesterday. There will be a drawing for members and subscribers. Members will get more entries than subscribers will, but this will be finished tomorrow. Dovetail box. We still do woodwork in Dad's workshop. It's not something we're quitting. We don't quit things. We just add things around here. And we appreciate you all being here. I'm so happy to have had you. Thank you to all my members. It is Saturday. I hope you're having a good weekend. Hope everybody's having a great day. Make sure that you subscribe. Make a donation to the channel if you have the means. Become a member of your favorite channel, as I always say. And we love you. Do the next right thing. This is Dad's Workshop. We will see you all next time. That will be Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.